Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We'd like to call the meeting to order. We're gonna ask, I do the invocation myself. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you again for allowing us to be here. We ask that you give us the wisdom to do the business of the city, that it be pleasing in your name. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Now we move on to the meeting minutes. Council members, you had an opportunity to review your meeting minutes. Are there any questions about the meeting minutes? If not, I entertain a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
I'm so moved.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the meeting minutes, approving council meeting minutes from the previous meeting. Is there any discussion? Not, we'll move into a vote. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Opinion that chair, the ayes have it, and the motion carries. Under item number 1. On item number 1, renovation of City Hall kitchen and bathroom. We're gonna do it in phases instead of trying to do it all at once. So the first phase that we're doing is the kitchen renovation portion. It will be completed by February the 21st, and it'll consist of improving the drainage areas, moving some kitchen things around to make it more efficient, and also purchasing stove that we don't have, and the stove and microwave, and I think that's the only two, and a refrigerator. Those are the major appliances that we'll be purchasing. But that first phase will be done on February the 21st. Then the next phase will be the the restroom area for the male and female restrooms, which is part of the grant. So that's the update on the grant for the renovation of the kitchen and bathroom. Item number 2, trailer parks. Last week, the city attorney sent a letter to the owners to set up a meeting, including with pictures to show exactly why we're asking to meet with him. Myself and some council members took some photographs and we got those sent over to them, so that way they know exactly why we're asking of trailers that are out of fix, roads that's out of fix. So as soon as we have a date for the meeting, I'll make sure I let you all know, and I'll be asking Councilwoman Ball to attend with that meeting since it's in her district. All right. Is there any questions about that?
Get about so, that's mine. So,
The old,
yes. Sir.
okay, the one on south side, not south side, Country Lane.
Okay, yes, sir.
Both of them are owned by the same folks. So yeah, if you want to come, so that's in your district. you can.
We're gonna get in, and it's like, we've got, trailer park, on both, I drive a bus down there, school bus, and, I want to go to, right down the curve, it take me 4 times to back up the school bus, without driving off in the cliff. Now, I can't take a bus in there, so I know that our fire department, police department, and everyone else going in there can't get through there. That's that bad. So it should be, if it needs more information on it, on how bad it is, and who all goes in there, the county should be well enough and be glad to speak on it. Cause the bus goes in there every day, every morning, and I'm one of them.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Any other comments on item number 2? All right. What was that? Item number 3, the bids to clean out ditches. On Thursday of last week, we've been reaching out to the state of Alabama because there was questions about who could or how far the inlays or the exit levels on the ditch needed to be as far as how far off of the edge. The city does not have a code that specifically speaks to that. There's not a overall state mandate of what it has to be. ALDOT, does not have their own, uh, does not have a requirement within city limits that we have to go by. So therefore, the only thing that we're gonna have to rely on is that we can only clean out the ditch to stop, uh, anything that's impeding the flow of water coming straight through. So the removal of a lot of trees on the outskirts, that cannot be done unless the property owner say, hey, I want y'all to cut the trees, and then they can get them to do that on their own. But the only thing that we can do is keep the natural flow of water through the ditch to keep it from being impeded by vegetation or by trees or debris. So there is no 5 foot or 10 foot or 15 foot that we can go and tell a contractor. We're just gonna have to tell them the ditch will have to be cleaned out to make sure that the water can flow evenly. And if they have questions about specific trees or vegetation that needs to be removed, they can contact us and we'll verify that we can remove that or not remove that, or if they want to know for their bidding purposes, that information. So that's why we haven't seen it in the paper, because the state didn't know the answer, we didn't have an answer in our code, and ALDOT didn't have an answer. So the only thing that ALDOT recommended and suggested, which is what they do, is to send that water, ensure the water flow is going its natural course, and you're not doing anything to disturb the outskirts of that area unless the property owner says that they want it, and then they can pay for it if they want to do that, subcontract it out. Does that answer the question? So, yes, sir.
Proper lane, proper behind, Park Him, I do believe. Whenever we do that right there, that's ours, right? The ditch coming through there, or will it be considered the same thing you're talking about now?
That's a different section. We're not doing that section this time, but I think we own that area, and if we own it, then we have more leeway to do whatever we want to do.
No, we don't come out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So Mr. Wilder's question was the area behind park cameras and flowage. We're gonna make sure we own that area off the railroad tracks. I think it's either owned by us or owned by the resource center, not the resource center, but the housing authority. And so we work well with interagency stuff, so that shouldn't be a problem clearing out vegetation. We're gonna put the bid, it'll be bid in 2 weeks from this meeting. Yes, yes. Now that we have something official to go off of. All right, surplus property. The surplus property, the auctioneer came today to look at the surplus property that will be listed on the website. The website that we'll be using is Southeast Auto Auction. They came and looked at the sanitation vehicles. They didn't come to the fire station and get that particular truck available yet, but that's drivable. They will be coming to pick up those vehicles. We have 6 that they'll be coming to pick up, and the reason why he wanted to come now so fast was because the longer that they're on the auction site, the more money that the city of Adamsville can get out of the vehicles. So they've been surplus for I think 3 or 4 years, some of them. So now we're trying to get them somewhere. So at least they'll be off our lot. And they'll be you can auction online still, or you can go in person to the auction site at Southeast Auto Auction. Does anybody have any questions about that?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We just read, members of the city council.
So, well, I know if we had it here, we can bid on it, we just couldn't vote on it, something like that, right?
Anybody can bid on it because it would have been a sealed bid, and anybody can, if I wanted to bid on the garbage truck, I can still bid on it too. It'll just be online. We won't open the bids physically here, It'll just be like an eBay style auction type thing. It'll be online.
All right.
Okay, the question was, could council members bid on it? Is that right?
Yes.
Yes, the question was, can council members bid on the equipment? Council members and city officials can bid on equipment, because it is sealed bids. But because we're not doing it here, you don't have to send your bids here. You can send them to, you don't send them. You go to Southeast Auto Auction in Tuscaloosa to bid on it, or you can go through their online website, which is a nationwide database, and sign up to bid on it from your house.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
My question is, do we have a sheet, or we'll have a sheet short, can be picked up, that you bid on, that from, like local sheet here? You know what I'm saying now? On the items that we can say,
Yes, sir, we had that on the previous council meeting, I think, all those, dump trucks, the list of dump trucks and surplus vehicles that we surplus out, that's all the stuff that'll be on it, nothing else.
what's going on taxing, you know?
No tractors, we hadn't surplus any tractors, recently. It'll only be those vehicles, that were on that surplus list. I think the garbage truck, sanitation vehicle, maybe one of those Ford F-150s that doesn't work, and Tahoe from the fire department will be on there, as well as the brush truck will be on there. Those are the things that'll be on there. But no tractors, but we didn't surplus any tractors out. All right, anybody else got any questions about that? All right, now we'll move on to new business, special event license request. The National Wildlife Foundation, National Turkey and Wildlife Foundation, yes. They have requested to have a event at the city hall, under the special event license request for alcohol, to serve alcoholic beverages. There will be no selling of alcoholic beverages. We'll just serve the alcoholic beverage. It's in our code under. It's in our code under a special event, license for on premises consumption. And it's in conjunction with Alabama Code 1975, Code 28A1, 28-38-1. And there's a fee of $350 that they have to pay. There's a fee of $200 that they'll have to pay, and that can only be done a certain number of times inside the year. I think the number is 5. They also have to go through the process of the ABC board to make sure that they're licensed through that. No events can be held on Sunday, and all of the beverages must be purchased from a wholesale licensee of the State Alcoholic Beverage Control Board. So that just means that they can't go to the grocery store and buy it. They gotta go to the Alcoholic Beverage Board to purchase it. They gotta get the license from here. And according to the code cited previously, the mayor and council have to approve a license request. So again, this is the National Turkey and Wildlife Foundation. They're a volunteer group. I have personally requested, as I will with any event, that they have to have security here at the venue. In order to do that, once that security has been approved by the chief, we'll approve their special event license request in whole. It'll be done in part here today, if the council approves the special event license request. And this is a part of their membership drive that they do every year.
Make a motion to approve the license.
Been moved and second. Is there any discussion?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It said
they have to get from ABC stores. So they can't have, they can't have no beer. Just alcohol.
Just, there's no beer then.
Whatever the license, yes, whatever the license requires, which is that, what you just said, yes, they have to have that, and they have to go to the alcoholic beverage store and make the purchase. If we show up and there's something that's unauthorized there, we have the authority to close the event.
Right. All right, thank you.
Is there any other discussion? Chief, you have anything?
Say beer. Yeah, they don't say beer.
Right.
Right, you know, yeah.
Do they, are there any, Chief, is there anything you want to add on that? All right, is there any other discussion on this item? All right, if not, I entertain, we had a motion and a second. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the motion carries. Item number 2, city streetlights. There are about 8 places that we had that needed some streetlights. Some of them had some after further investigation. Some of them didn't need a light there because they had one already. But there are 3 places that I'm gonna ask the council approve that we allow streetlights to go to. The first one is, and this is not to fix anything, that is a separate deal to Alabama Power. This is to put a new light in this particular area, all right? The 3 areas are 912 Oak Street, 912 Oak Street. The second one is 411 17th Street, Northwest, 411 17th Street, Northwest. And the third one is on Highway 14. The physical address is not available, but it's in front of, it's beside the country, it's on the side of the street where the country club is, in between the country club road and North Road. So it's very dark in that area. So those are the 3 areas that I'm gonna ask that the council members approve, putting street lights at this time.
Make a motion.
Second.
Been moved and second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please let it be known by saying aye. Any opposed? The opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The motion carries. Item number 3, fire department bylaws. I'm gonna turn it over to Chief Jones to give us a synopsis of the bylaws that were submitted to the council.
Thank you, Mayor. It's just bylaws from the fire department that the fire department drafted up, stating what they can and what they can't do, things that they do or whatnot. I'm just asking for y'all guys' approval to put it in, so that way when I issue it out to my guys or ladies, they won't say that, hey, I don't know anything about this or anything like that. So it's just rules and bylaws that we have to follow as a fire department. That's all it is. And I'm just asking for an approval so I can give it to my guys and girls, so they can know about it.
Just for question's sake, about when was the last time that the bylaws were updated?
Mayor, last time that those bylaws were updated, I think it was like 2003, 2004, somewhere along there. So when I took office, I updated them quickly. So
Council members, y'all have any questions? Question about that.
So right now, I got a question for you.
okay,
2 of them.
okay.
One is, question number 1. Exactly, do you know how many fire extensions you have out in the city limit?
No, sir.
Okay, have you checked them and make sure they're updated? No, I mean, not fire extensions, no, sir.
Fire hydrant.
Fire hydrant, yes, sir.
No, sir. I won't do that until ISO come in and do that. I do that with ISO, go around and check every fire hydrant.
And you would say we have access for every last one that we have,
Yes, sir.
and then one, and not access. I was asked the question, so I would ask you, so I'm asking the question, so they listen. Thank you.
Back on the bylaws, are any other questions about the bylaws? Yes, ma'am.
With the bylaws. With the bylaws, with it being a volunteer fire department, do it need the vote of the council?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
To,
ma'am.
to, go forward with it or?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
Any other questions? Good questions, Councilwoman Ball. And the reason is because the volunteer fire department is still under the umbrella of the city of Aliceville, and therefore we have to approve it. So that's a good question. Any other questions? If not, we'll move into, I entertain a motion to approve the bylaws as presented to the council.
Second.
Been moved and second. All those in favor? Is there any more discussion?
On that, I need a signature.
Yeah.
Each of them.
Is there any other discussion? All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Any opposed? In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank you, council members. Item number 4, 17th Street repaving grant. 17th Street repaving grant. Those who may know or may not know, the city of Aliceville, we put in a grant last year or a year and a half ago for the repaving of the streets on 17th Street before we found a solution to trying to get our entire area paved. With that being said, the grant has come through and the grant will allow us to pay for the 17th Street, the 17th Street paving process. This is a blessing for us, and it allows us to be able to utilize our funds wiser in other areas and don't have to portion that in for the rest of the city that we're paving. And again, this is 17th Street, AKA Nursing Home Road. The amount of the grant was gonna result in approximately $300,000. There's a portion that comes from ADECA, an amount of $120,000, and then there's another portion that comes from the state of Alabama. What I need is a motion to accept the grant that we received, so that way we can go forward with the paperwork.
Also move.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the grant to pave 17th Street. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Any opposed? In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the motion carries. Item number 5, there's a request by, make sure I say it right. Okay. That we have a private citizen who would like to have a youth event or youth explosion on April 30th, 2022 at 10 a.m. Beginning at 10 a.m. and it will be at the National Guard Armory. They plan to have gospel rappers, singing, and inspiration, and different speakers who will be speaking inspiration to our children. They'll have prizes, food, and sound like a good time for our youth. What I'm asking that the council do is allow them to have this event at the city, on the city hall property. It will just be on the grass area, and they will have different type of events and bounces, not behind city hall, but at the National Guard Armory. I'm sorry, at the old armory, where we play soccer at. So that'll be where it is. So I just want to kind of inform the council members that is something that's free, and it'll be something positive for our youth. And I want to thank Miss Rosetta Minor and her organization. I think she got an organization that's doing this as well. Is it her organization? I don't know. We all know about it. So, but I just want to thank her for all her efforts. She was part of the toy drive that we did last Christmas, and she's just always helpful with the community. So that's a really excellent event, as long as no one has any objections about it. I don't think so. All right. Go ahead, sir. We don't have to vote on it. I'm just bringing it to the council attention. I didn't wanna, that way everybody knows what's going on when they see somebody on the property.
All right.
Do y'all wanna vote on? To show, as a show of support?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do that. As a show of support, let's vote on it. All those in favor of accepting this free event for the citizens, specifically youth of Alexville, please let it be known by saying aye. Any opposed? In the opinion of the chair, this passes unanimously. So thank you. New business, item number 6, trade-in agreement with SunSouth. As some of you all know, we are in the process of purchasing a new tractor. Our tractor is subjected to the government rate, which is why we were able to get such a good deal on the tractor. However, we are now running into an issue where the tractor is not gonna be ready until June, the middle of June, which is a no-go for Terrence Wyndham, because we gotta cut some grass. That being said, what has been proposed is, and this is something that we were looking for a little earlier, but we just got the details on it today, is utilizing our old tractor. What they would do is they will repair our old tractor. It's gonna take about $20,000 to repair the old tractor. They'll repair the old tractor. Once they repair the old tractor, they will credit us back with the, once we trade it in, they will credit us back with the $18,000 that will go towards our trade-in, and we'll spend about, and hopefully they'll have the tractor within the next month. So we'll have a tractor from March until June, and then we'll be responsible for about $2,000 in between for the gap between the 20,000 and the 18,000 that we'll get on the trade-in. So that's in order to make it, make us have a tractor now, because if not, we're gonna just have to wait until June to have a tractor. And that's the fastest that they can get it. I reached out to some other people and they even slower. So anyway,
So they're gonna fix our tractor within a month.
they're gonna fix our tractor, our John Deere tractor with the arm on it. They're gonna give it, not give it, we're gonna get it back. Then, once our tractor comes in, we'll trade that tractor in and get an $18,000 credit. And then we'll just owe the $2,000 for the rental from January or from February until the middle of June, which probably gonna be July. So if they say middle of June. But that's the best option that I think that we can have, because right now, the other option is wait till July or June to have a tractor, and I don't think that that's gonna work. So is it the pleasure of the council to enter into the agreement, trade-in agreement with SunSouth, the people who are purchasing the tractor?
So, I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the, like the old tractor with us fixing it for $20,000? Is it, I mean, if we fixing it and it can work now, what's the difference in us getting a new, or is it too old?
It's a 2008, and so that's just what's wrong with it now. That's just the transmission. And so that's not to mention the motor on the actual tractor or the boom portion, which they're about $20K to replace. So in order to make sure that we have something new that's gonna work and not go back to the repair shop again, that's the reason why we're trying to get a new tractor. Well, it'll be a 2021, 2022. So it'll have a warranty. It'll have, some breakdown, we can take it back to the shop, and we'll have that safety net, for lack of better terms, from other damages that might come up from an engine or whatever might come up.
You said 2021, 2022, like, it's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's brand new. Yeah, that's very new for me. So
So, but this will have the bush hog that will work to cut grass.
yeah, it'll have the
The
arm.
arm and the bush hog.
Right,
correct?
right.
It'll all work.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they better work with
As far as what you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah, as far as I'm what I'm talking, like I said, they've already broke the tractor down. They kept the tractor broke down, so that way they can go ahead and when they, anyway, so the tractor's already broke down, so all they gotta do is just put the parts on it, put it back together, and then they'll, ship it back to us.
Okay.
You know,
Just real quick, this tractor is just for the sidearm use only.
Yes.
You know, I heard you say we gotta wait for we get grass. So that would just be only for the sidearm part. You have something else already to cut the grass, per se.
yeah, we got lawnmowers, I'm talking about ditches, I'm talking
So
about
you
like.
got bush hog to cut other
Right,
bigger
right.
spot. You talking about now just for the sidearm.
Right, because the sidearm is able, like,
Confused by not being able to cut grass.
right, well, they want and I appreciate that clarification, they, like the area on the Baptist line, there's some areas where the lawnmower can't get to, the bush hog can't get to, the only thing they can get over there is the sidearm. So those are the areas that we're talking about. But as far as cutting grass on the highway and those areas, those other areas, we're gonna continue to cut those areas. But there was some areas this year that we weren't able to get to because the bush hog is too big, and the sidearm can reach out in some places and cut, such as like by CarQuest, that area right there, that's a bad, spot for a bush hog. We had guys weed eat it out a few times, but it's easier to get that bush hog, the sidearm and just cut it off. But that's a great point of clarity, thank you.
So we're not using this tractor to cut grass.
Yes, tractors used to cut grass
With the sidearm.
with the sidearm,
Not the
yes.
bush hog.
yes. It's a sidearm bush, it has a, attachment on the back of it with the arm, and it reaches over and cuts the grass.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So 20,000, well, we're gonna pay to get fixed, right? Then when we get ready to trade it in back to them, what will we getting, 20,000 total that you said back? 20,000 we're paying them. Oh, right. Then how much we get for the tractor then with it running?
18,000. We're gonna pay $18,000. We're gonna pay $2,000 to keep it from this point to June or July. But we're getting 18,000 on the trade-in. They're giving us that back. So you're paying 18, you're paying 20 to fix it. When you trade it in, you're gonna get 18. So that's gonna be going towards your trade-in. And then you have to pay 2,000 off of the trade-in. 2,000 from you for usage from February till July. And the price of the tractor is all, everything, the price of the tractor is all the same. It's still $50,000 for the tractor and $18,000, something like that for the sidearm. We ain't paying no more. We just paying for the usage of having the tractor because that's the only way legally that we are able to do it. Any other questions? Great question. All right, now we're moving to, motion to approve the trading agreement with SunSouth.
So moved.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
The peanut chair, the ayes have it, motion carries. Accounts payable. Councilmember, you had an opportunity to look at your accounts payable. Are there any questions about accounts payable?
No.
All right, if not, let's move to a vote paying the bills as presented.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Any opposed? The peanut chair, the ayes have it. The motion carries. Police Department, Chief, you got anything?
Yes, sir. Mayor, Council. The last couple of months, last 2 months, or should I say last month and portion of this month, we've had a lot of alarms, residential and businesses alarms to go off. Nothing bad. That's a plus in a sense for us, law enforcement, because you do have alarms and your alarms do work. So that's a plus. So we encourage the community of Vallisville, if you don't have an alarm, if you can purchase an alarm, you know, that kind of helped us somewhat. So that is a plus. I know y'all probably thought I was going to say something negative, but that is a plus to it. Want to say this to the community. We've been using this. See something, say something, do something. Let's continue to keep that going forward. Not just talking about it, but doing it. It's been working pretty good. Our calls been coming in through our 911 system, and I will say again to the community, please utilize 911. That's what City of Vallisville pay their services for. So please, ma'am, please, sir, utilize 911, and it's been working. See something, say something. Last thing, in law enforcement, we've been having a lot of people on our traffic stops stopping on the traffic stop. I must say to you, to the community, if the officer have someone pull over, please do not, for your safety and the officer's safety as well, do not pull up to the officer's scene, because you yourself can be arrested for interfering with government operations. So please, ma'am, please, sir, do not stop on the traffic stop. Again, that's for your safety and the officer's safety as well. Anything from the council? Thank you.
I got a question. I saw a young lady doing it, you know, my accent.
She's doing great. Since she's been in the academy, she's been acing. So she's in the A average ever since she's been in the academy.
So would you say how long probably she got left before they got finished? We get to say
2 more months. Full. Yes, 2 full months. Yep.
Thank you, Chief. Move on to street and sanitation department.
Good evening. Yes, just want to inform you that we worked on the ditch out here. We put rocks and stopped the drainage problem. We did the same thing over on 4th. Also, we had an opportunity to go to the park and get some work done on the building. While all the rock was around the side, it has been taken care of, including the inside. It's been done. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Chief Jones, Fire Department.
Yes, my Tahoe and my red truck will be striped either Thursday or Friday. We'll also, Mary, you have a picture of the logo that's going to be used or whatnot. The guy's been down